Good morning. I'm in Newport, Oregon, and the last couple weeks, even the last couple months, have been kind of chaotic. I think the videos that I've been putting out haven't been as good. I think that's going to start to stabilize now. I don't know exactly when this video will get uploaded. It may not be for a couple of weeks because things are still kind of chaotic for me. And there's also going to be some speculation about what's going to happen over the next couple of days and possibly the next couple of weeks. But for now, we're going to explore Newport, Oregon. I'm going to do this video a little bit differently. I'm going to kind of break it up into sections from the jetty to the waterfront and to other areas of Newport. So let's get into it. The first section of Newport that I'm going to explore is the jetties. Right here we're looking at the North Jetty. In just a moment we'll go up on top and walk down it, and then later on we'll go to the South Jetty. Okay, I'm up on top of the jetty now, and sea is pretty rough. Of course, it's not a windy day, it's not storming, so it's not too bad. I would speculate on a windy day, probably the waves will crash all the way over the jetty. But I think we'll be able to go all the way out to the end. Okay, it looks like they're doing some dredging, or at least I think that's what this boat is for. It does have the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers logo on the top, and these jetties were created by the Army Corps of Engineers, so there you go. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about jetties. This is mostly for people that don't live near the ocean or who have never been to the ocean. But in most part, jetties protect harbors. Now, there are some jetties that they make that are designed to protect the waterfront and the wildlife that lives along there. But in this case, this jetty protects the Yaquina Bay. And right now we're looking outside of the passage to the harbor, and you can see the ocean is very violent. Now I'm going to swing around here so you can see the inside passage, and it is very calm. Now, jetties that are designed to protect harbors in general are built out far enough that they stop all the turbulent water. I'm going to pause the video here for a moment because I used a term that was not correct. I think I said turbulent water, when in reality the term that I was looking for is surf or surf zone. At the time I filmed this, I was just pulling a blank, and of course later that day I realized my mistake. So jetties are built out beyond the surf or surf zone in most cases. It's been over a decade since I took marine biology. So I'm going to mention one more thing for people that have never really experienced the ocean, and that is that waves don't go directly in and out, such as like this. They actually tend to make sort of an arc shape like this. Alright, well I made it to the end of the jetty. I'm a little bit further back because the waves are crashing on all sides of it right now, and I want to be careful not to get massively sprayed by one of the waves. It is coming up on top. You saw that one right there. The jetty's not long. It's maybe half a mile to a mile. Maybe not even that, I don't know, but it took well over an hour. You probably saw from the last clip. It's pretty slow going once you start to get on this really rocky section of it where there's not really a lot of loose gravel. So there you go. Hang out here for a few minutes and then I'm going to start heading back. Since it's hard to make out, that is a Coast Guard helicopter. Okay, I'm back at the end of the jetty, and you might have just seen some footage of the Coast Guard. Might have been hard to see what they were doing, so I'm just gonna explain what I could see. It looked like they were moving some kind of navigational device or beacon. There was a few Coast Guard personnel. I've never actually seen Coast Guard operations like that before. But as you can tell, it's starting to sprinkle now, so it's a good thing that I'm back at the end of the jetty. I'm sure the seas are going to get a little bit rough now. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I'm kind of doing something a little bit different. I'm kind of grouping the different areas of Newport together. I may go out to the South Jetty today, or maybe another day, so it might look a little different. You know, maybe it'll be sunny, maybe it'll be overcast like this, so we'll see what happens. Just gonna hang out in Newport for a little bit. Maybe I'll do some filming of the other areas. So there it is. I'm headed to the South Jetty now. There's a little bit of a service road that you have to walk down to get to the actual jetty. I did look, the North Jetty is longer, and it's almost a mile, to be honest with you. So I don't know if I'm going to go all the way to the end of the South Jetty, but I will say that what I see so far is the North Jetty, the waves are crashing on it very hard. It'd be interesting right now to be all the way out at the end. I mean, the spray is super high. Okay, I'm going to stop here for a moment. I'm about halfway down the jetty. I just kind of have somewhat of an observation. I can hear the water crashing underneath me a lot more than I could on the North Jetty. Now, it could be that it's just a little bit rougher now than when I was out on the North Jetty, but I also think this jetty was designed a little bit differently because, like as I had mentioned yesterday, waves tend to move south in this portion of the world because of that arcing motion. And so the North Jetty, I'm sure, gets beat up a lot more. You might be able to see some of the waves right now crashing pretty hard against it. So they probably don't put as much smaller gravel underneath, but also on top. Just finding a route, because some of these rocks, if you look at them, are massive, and the gaps between them are very large. I think I might go down to this beacon. We'll check that out, and then we'll see if the rocks, I can find a path further out onto the jetty. But there you go. So this must be the object that the Coast Guard was moving when we were on the North Jetty. Kind of looks like some of these parts are new, some of them are kind of old. It did look like they tipped it over accidentally yesterday, so that's why part of this looks kind of bent. So there's that. It would be interesting to know what this actually is for. Okay, so I had to come back to the end of the jetty. It started raining while I was out there, and some of the rocks are very slippery, so it's very treacherous and slow going. I did check the weather before going out into the jetty, considering that it was raining, and it was supposed to be clear while I was out there, but I just hit a pocket of rain. So I was trying to shoot a time lapse while I was out there. I may end up going back another day and filming that. So if you see that, it's not today, but it's really exciting going out there on the jetties. Just the water splashing around, just the force of it, the sheer force. I mean, obviously it's extremely dangerous, so you have to be careful. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the South Jetty. I didn't anticipate shooting enough that I'd be able to make a full video out of the jetties, so we're gonna break Newport up into two portions. In part 2, we'll explore the Yaquina Bay and the lighthouses. I want to thank you for watching.